can do.
I'm picking Valentine, 'cause on the morning line, the guy's got him.
Hello racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, May 24th races at Hastings. We have 7 races on tap, but before we get to those 7 races, we had a great Holiday Monday program, the Victoria Day card, which featured 2 stakes races and 2 very good performances from some pretty nice stakes horses.
It was great crowd.
Oh,
sunny
over
day.
$1 million. It was great. It was an absolute delight. It was a good day.
Super Mario was back in town. Good fields, good betting, good everything you'd want. It was actually my first time going to the race all year. I had a blast. Great day at the races. The first one we're going to look at is the 8th race on the card. It's the Strawberry Morn for fillies and mares, going 6.5. Horse to keep an eye on here is the 3, I think so.
Yeah, broke the field again.
Yeah,
no challenger.
Breaks on top under Alex Bissono. I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't even pick her because I thought there was so much gas in this race.
Nobody went.
And nobody goes with her.
Yeah, it was 20. I think it was like 22 and 3.
It was almost 23. Yeah,
it was like
high 22.
Terribly slow. Overvalue didn't break, so she was covered up, so she wasn't a factor. It wasn't part of the pace. But I think so. And Lady Henrietta's just lapped on, and 22 and 3. Very comfortable for these kind of horses. Madeira Park's out of her element, trying to chase the pace wide, and it's just unfortunate. Just the pace scenario was so brutally slow.
And Miss Derrick didn't go. Overvalue didn't go. All these horses that I thought. I think so. Broke on top and was gone. There's Miss Derrick and Madeira Park coming on the outside. Outside of Lady Henrietta.
46 and 1.
Yeah.
And here, it's over from here. This is pretty easy stuff.
Bissono just shakes her up a little bit, and away she goes.
Overvalued follows the winner, and
Mario sneaking through here. Yeah, she's kind of stuck in.
Stymied in behind horses, running in 5th, and here comes Terlani on the rail. But I think so. Just drew away and won easily. Overvalued, just last for 2nd. It was a good run from her.
Yeah, Castaneda gets up for 3rd.
But there was a pile of them in there for 2nd and 3rd. But 116 and 1, very impressive.
Another impressive performance by, I think so.
To the connections.
2nd straight one this year.
Yep. Alrighty, on to the first race on the Saturday program.
We have our Equibase
forums
today.
Bear with us. Got to find where everything is here. $8,000 claimers here. This is a non-winners of 2, non-3 BC bred for fillies and mares, going 6.5 furlongs. I like the 3-horse Honey Skila. She's dropping down from 16,000. That was a pretty salty race that featured Closing Intentions, Jazz Unlimited, and Clarice B. It was an open 16, and she gets into this restricted race. I think she's got to be the boss. Amadeo Perez gets the call, and I like her over the 4. That's the Spirit. Looks like the Snow Boys have a, father-son have a pretty good shot in the opener on Saturday, and I put the 2-horse Border Runner, who has some nice works for trainer Pat Jarvis, in for 3rd. I think those are your horses, but I do like Honey Skeel on the class drop. But if anyone beats her, I think might be the Speedy. That's the Spirit. So I went 3, 4, and 2.
I have the same horses. I think Honey Skila is the horse to beat in here. Dropping from, as you mentioned, from that 60th with Closing Intentions, is a much tougher race than what she's entered in today. Gets Amadeo Perez, who. Corinne Andros had a big weekend. We should mention that last Saturday, won 4 races out of 7 or 8 on
she was
Saturday.
She was brilliant, winning
4 of
big
8
prices. And
4 of 8 on Saturday. A couple for Swift, 1 for Pedro Alvarado, and 1 for Craig McPherson. However, anytime you go from a bug girl to Amadeo Perez, a seasoned rider, I think that's a nice move in Honey Skila's favor. I'll take Honey Skila on top. I put Border Runner, your 3rd horse, in the 2nd spot. The works are good. Pat Jarvis does a very competent job. Yep. I liked Pat training a lot, and she thought enough of this horse. It was running much higher last year. Goes right down to 8,000 to start this year. That makes that horse tough, and that's the Spirit, the one you mentioned, in the 3rd spot. I have 3, 2, and 4. Just switched her bottom 2. On to the 2nd, 3 and up, non-winners of 2, 8,000. The boys' end. I've gone to the 4-horse Fast Stop here out of the Anita Bolton barn. This was a horse that they claimed out of California for 30,000. They brought it here, ran it first time out for maiden 5. The horse won, not super impressively, but it looked like he had a lot more. Amadeo just kind of did what he had to do to get this horse to the wire, and I think there's more in the tank there, so I put him on top. I put him on top of Step Up because he had the out. I'm not crazy about the way that Step Up, who's obviously the class of this race, has been working coming into this race. I see a 105, a 103, a 102, and 4. That doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence that maybe he's fit enough to jump right into the action against a horse that just won impressively here, even though it was for maiden 5. I got Fast Stop. on top, Step Up second, and I put Ride the Sky out of the Mike Anderson barn. I like Mike Anderson's horses the way I've been running this year, and I really like a bunch of horses he runs this weekend. I think Mike's going to have a big weekend. Got him in the third spot under Richard Hamill. 4, 2, and 3 for me.
Yeah, I have the same 3 horses, but I'm going to put Step Up on top. I have full confidence in trainer John Morrison to have one ready. I know the works aren't fast, but a lot of times he'll have exercise riders on his horses, and they're getting tons out of the works, and they may not be going around there in 59, but they're still doing what he wants them to do. Step Up is the best horse in the race, and he would need to really turn in a subpar effort or really be in, poor, just be below par to lose this race, I would think, because he is the best horse. I put the 3-horse Ride the Sky in for second. I was pretty impressed with that race he's coming out of. The Jordan's Quest came back to run very well, defeating Never a Better Cause in allowance race last week. And so, he was in tough Ride the Sky, so I got to give him another shot here for 8,000. And it's just unfortunate he hooks into Step Up and Fast Stop, 2 horses that are, pretty cool little horses in their own right. So I put Fast Stop in for third. For the ice cold Anita Bolton, who's lost 2 in a row.
Yes.
I know, they're on only 5 for 7 now.
Look for the odds to start going up on her horse.
But no, of course, Anita off to a great start. Just kidding. Of course, this horse ran well, as you mentioned, did enough. Just what he had to do to win, and needs to move forward. I mean, that was Boots Gray and Skoll working behind him. This is a lot tougher. This is miles tougher than those 2 horses that he did defeat and made it look easy. But I'm going to go 2, 3, 4. I think Step Up's class by a mile. On to the third race. Got some 2-year-olds for you. Finally got our first 2-year-old race of the season. Maiden special weight event, going the nursery course distance of about 3.5 furlongs, and or 3.5. It is 3.5. They start right at the head of the backstretch. I've gone to the 5-horse Biscuit for the Swift Thoroughbreds, and Dino Condolenios. Dino is always very good at getting, he gets all his horses ready to run, but I mean, especially the 2-year-olds are well prepared, and wouldn't be surprised to see this son of, or daughter of Ross Sprigg from the mare Sky Pink be pretty alive at first asking. The works are excellent. I like the outside draw, so I'll try the 5 Biscuit to defeat the 2 Finalities Charmer, who has the bullet works in the morning for the Shaws and Craig McPherson, but inside draw we'll see, but they're certainly bred for speed. And I put the 1-horse Zip 2, son of Forest Grove, in for third for Pedro Alvarado, who's very good at getting young stock to the race. He was always very good at when he was riding, he would always be on horses in the mornings, and then he would ride them in the afternoons. He was always very good at preparing babies as well. So I went 5, 2, and 1, but I'm going to try the 5-horse Biscuit.
I agree with you. I put the 2 on top. I think it's between the 2 and the 5 here. I think those are your 2 tough horses, judging by what you can see on a form in a 2-year-old race, by their works and by their breeding.
Yeah, no, you're just going off breeding, and of course looks. You got to check them out in the paddock. See who's losing it in the paddock. There might be the odd horse that'll be in the paddock and just absolutely not unprepared, not handling everything well. So they're probably not going to run well. So that helps too. Yeah,
absolutely. I like the breeding on the 2-horse. Wednesday's out. This is a half-sister to Officer's Charm, who was a very, very fast, especially as a 2-year-old. So I think if she has any kind of that in her, she's going to be a handful here, especially going 3.5 out of the McPherson barn, who can have them ready. Hamill, Craig's main guy, takes the call. Biscuit I have in the second spot. I think those are your 2 tough horses, as I mentioned, off the works and whatnot. Swift, Dino obviously gets them ready. And Zip 2, the one you mentioned, Pedro's horse. Amadeo Perez takes the call, works look good. Those are your horses. 2, 5, and 1 for me. I just swapped the top 2.
First 2-year-old race. Should be a lot of fun watching the babies.
First 2-year-old race of the year. On to the 4th. 3-year-olds and up, maiden, 12-5. I've gone to the 1, Wee Harry in here. He just got beat a length by Fleming Speech. And when I look through the rest of them in here, he's a standout for me. Everybody else has kind of been getting handled by 10, 15 lengths. The second spot, I put Turnin' Home, the Mel Snowbarn, Amadeo Perez. This horse did run third in the same race as Wee Harry. So he's, I think those are your 2 horses, 1 and 3. Mel Snow's horse has been running good. Amadeo Perez and him have teamed up already. They look pretty good together. And actually, Wee Harry just beat him by a nose last time. So those are your 2 horses. And the third spot, I threw in Bluegrass Man. Been kind of a disappointment this year. Got 2 starts, 2 fourths. But as the process of elimination goes along,
things get easier.
He should get a little closer. I got 1, 3, and 2.
Yeah, I like the same 3 horses. I went to Turnin' Home on top, though. I like the horse in its debut. It should have been second. It was good. It kind of got I don't know if it was the horse being a little intimidated, but the horse lost valuable position going into the first turn and gave it to Wee Harry, and that's why Wee Harry ended up beating Turning Home by that narrow margin.
Yeah.
For my money, that day Turning Home was 2 or 3 lengths better than Wee Harry, and but he did skip the last race.
He also carried 13 pounds more than him, and he has 10 pounds more than him today.
Yeah, those are your 2 horses, like you mentioned, 3 and 1. But you went 1 and 3. I'm gonna go 3 and 1. I think Turning Home. Obviously my odds are gonna get hurt with Amadeo jumping aboard. I'd rather see Keyshawn Balgaban on the horse. At least it would have got fair odds. Might have got 3 to 1 or 7 to 2. But now I'm guaranteed to get 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 on Turning Home. And I put Bluegrass Man in for third. I mean, this horse is better than its form shows, and hopefully comes up with a good effort. I went 3, 1, and 2 in the Saturday 4th. On to the 5th race. I got some first mile in the 16th race of the season. Got 6 fillies and mares signed on here. $4,000 claimers. I landed on the 3 Revster, who had an eventful trip in her debut this year, and certainly is better than that race showed. Did lose to Maidavale, but with hopped at the start, was wide, and had lots of things negative going on. Going to get Amadeo Perez, and he's done a lot of good on Revster in the past, and I think this, you always like to pay attention to the rider-horse combos that do well, and Perez kind of does well with Revster.
Her, yeah.
So I'm going to put her on top. I put the 2 Maidavale and the 1 Coach and Becky in behind. I don't love anyone in this race. I think you need all 3 of them in your pick 4s or whatever wagers you like to play. But I went 3, 2, and 1. But I could see the things being flip-flop between those 3. Not a love affair for me with Revster, but I got her on top. 3, 2, 1.
I agree with you. I think Revster's a horse to beat in here. As you mentioned, Amadeo knows her well. She wants to go long. She's got the race under belt, so now she can go long. Revster will improve. Excuse me. In the second spot, I put Suance's Flower. New arrival to Hastings Park out of the Jim Brown barn. They claimed her out of Turf Paradise, and she just won, going a mile flat on the turf for 62.5. At Turf Paradise. I think that'll, turn out here similar kind of horse.
If she bounces back, like she was in 2 weeks ago and was scratched on parade. It's the only reason I don't have it. I agree. The form is perfect. Like that horse is perfectly live in this race. Probably going to be the speed of the party, but just a little concerned. That's the only reason I left her off the top 3 is just because
scared you off a little bit.
She was scratched. Frank was on her, and she was scratched on parade.
And in the third spot, I put Maidavale. The one that you had in your second. Where did you have?
I had her second, and Coach and Becky third.
Yeah, I put her in the third spot. I went 3, 4, 2, but Revster I think is your horse at a short price. On to the 6th, 3 and up, non-winners of the year or non-for $4,000. And I've gone to the 2 here. I took a bit of a shot, but I see you did too on Storm and Proud Papa.
I don't think we'll get 6 to 1. I don't know
probably not.
The morning line.
Yeah, probably not. He's a cool old horse. He's always run here at Hastings for hire. He has a good record. He gets in light with Hot Bug Girl Corrine Andros. Starts this year for $4,000. Storm and Proud Papa, I think, is your horse to beat. Out of the Mike Anderson barn, I mentioned earlier, I think Mike's going to have a big weekend. The second spot, I went to the 6, Proxy Man. Horse returning to Hastings from a little stint down at Turf Paradise. You've been running in higher races, 12.5 and allowance down there for Jim Brown. Amadeo Perez takes the call. In here for $4,000. He looks pretty tough. And the third spot, I went to the 8, Minstrel's Time. Craig McPherson has 2 in here, Arkhill and Minstrel's Time. I was trying to decide which one to take. I didn't like the way Arkhill ran last time, even though he always does better under Richard Hamill than Aaron Greider. Greider rode him once or twice last year. Hamill knows this horse well. But I put Minstrel's Time in there, an underrated horse kind of out of the Craig McPherson barn, and a horse that jumps up at a price every now and then. He's got a good record for hitting the money, so I put him in third. I got 268.
Yeah, I agree with the 2-horse Storm and Proud Papa. I mean, this horse is pretty live. This horse is ready to roll. Judging by his works, it looks like he's got a green light here and gets in light with apprentice Corinne Andros. So I had to try the 2 Storm and Proud Papa. He doesn't need the lead. He's a pretty versatile horse that can just track the speed if need be, and if the pace is slow, he can go out there. He's a cool old horse. So I'm going to take the 2 Storm and Proud Papa on top. I put the 3 Arkhill in for second. pretty much for the reason you mentioned, that Hamill kind of has the key to this horse. He seems to wait on him. He's not the easiest horse to ride. You really have to time your move with him quite well. He doesn't have a big move, and you got to kind of make sure you save ground and do things right with him. And so I'll put him in for second, and I put the 6 Proxy Man. And I agree. Of course, he can win by 5 lengths if he brings his A race in for third. But I think you need all 3 of them. Myself, I'll have 2, 3, 6. So that's the way I've gone. Storm and Proud Papa for me on top, though. On to the Saturday finale. Got a field of 8 signed on to close things out. They are maiden $5,000 claimers going 6.5 furlongs. I landed on the 5 2 trees. Not really any brilliant pick here. Horses got beat last time to My Sweet Bettina. But I would shop around. I am picking 2 trees, but I'm not totally in love with the horse. Definitely 121 and change is not the fastest of times.
Yeah.
And just, there's room for someone to slide in there and beat this horse. So I put the 1 Hell of a Deal in for second, and the 3 Aber Be Gone might be the best price of the bunch in for third. This horse had some pretty good races last year. This horse was scratched earlier during the meeting too, but has worked well since. But I went 5, 1, and 3. I left out a Moonbeam and a Stone. I don't know what to do with that horse. Big rider change, but we'll see what this horse does on the class draw. But I went 2 trees. I think the speed will make her dangerous.
I went to a Moonbeam on a Stone because I picked him second or third. I picked her for 12.5. So going in for 5. I'm going to do it. Take a Moonbeam on a Stone in the top spot. As you mentioned, it is a rider upgrade. Freddie Manrique does a good job and a very hard worker. But Alex Bizzone is off to a very hot start here at this meet. That is an upgrade, and it's an angle I'm going to use to take a Moonbeam on a Stone in the top spot. 2 trees, as you mentioned, in the second spot. And as a homer, I went the Forester horse, second time lucky, half sister to the very fast Gopher Guinness. However, they obviously do not think the same, as she shows up first time for maiden 5. Keyshawn Belgoba takes the call. The works aren't much to look at, but based off the breeding, maybe she can hit the board. Yeah. I went 4, 5, and 8 in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday, May 24th card. Up next will be our picks. Mike will be first, as always.
Back in race number 1. I went with the 3 horse. Honey Skila over the 4, That's the Spirit, and the 2 Border Runner for third. In race number 2, I went 2, 3, 4. I got the same numbers, but got them shifted around. I like the 2 Step Up. Race number 3, I went to the 5 Biscuit, first 2-year-old race of the season. 5, 2, 1 for me. In race number 4, I went to the 3 Turning Home over the 1 Wee Harry. 3, 1, and 2 in the start of the pick 4. In the 5th race, I went to the 3 Revster. I went 3, 2, 1. In the 6th race, I went to the 2 Storm and Proud Papa. Classy old gelding over the another classy dude, Arkhill. 2, 3, 6 for me in the 6th. And the 7th, I went to the 5 horse, 2 trees over the 1 Hell of a Deal, and the 3 Abra Be Gone.
Now my picks, not a whole lot different from Mike's picks on this Saturday. We ended up with a lot of same horses this weekend.
Well, the Equibase, we can't separate them on them Equibase forums, I guess.
For those of you who don't know,
no DRF. It's going to be a challenge this weekend, or especially Friday. There might not be any forums for the Friday as of taping, and it sounded like things were going to be a little difficult for the Daily Racing Forum, because they had a big power outage there and knocked everything out on their computers.
Brutal. On to my picks. Number 3 in the first, I agree with Mike. Honey Skila over the 2 and the 4. In the second, I went to Fast Stop. Get a little bit of price on him over the 2 and the 3. In the third, I went to the 2 Finalities Charmer over the 5 and the 1. In the fourth, I went to the 1 Wee Harry over the 3 and the 2. In the fifth, I went to the 3 Revster over the 4 and the 2. In the 6th, I agree with Mike on number 2 Storm and Proud Papa over the 6 and the 8. And in the nightcap, I went to a Moonbeam on a Stone, number 4 over 5 and 8.
Well, that'll do it for the Saturday, May 24th edition of Handicapper's Corner, and we should briefly touch on California Chrome. That was cool.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh, that was so cool. Of course, setting up some very nervous situation in a couple more weeks' time on Belmont Day, when could be the first Triple Crown winner since 1978, when Affirmed pulled it off. Actually, there was a pile of them in the 70s. 73 was Secretariat, 77 Affirmed, and 78. Or 77 Seattle Slew, and 78 Affirmed. It's been 30.
There was a bit of a gap between them too. It was like in the 50s. There was none in the 60s. And there's 3 in the 70s. And then the longest drought yet.
But California Chrome, owned by the dumbass partners, could just get her done.
You know, everybody's rooting for me, especially
lunchbox kind of horse.
Exactly.
I mean, like owners and everything. Like it's perfect, and that's why I think that's why everyone's going to gravitate to this horse. It's going to be a lot of fun, but great. Hats off to California.
I don't think that there's been a horse that's well, the last two I can think of that were this popular going into the Belmont would have been I'll Have Another, and of course Smarty Jones, where everybody had kind of got caught up in it. So hopefully he fares better than the last two. Good luck to all the connections.
Yeah, it should be great. But that'll do it for this edition. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
I got the horse.